a study beyond that. And it's a branch of philosophy that studies the fundamental nature of reality, including the first principles of being or existence, identity and change, space and time, cause and effect, necessity and possibility. So, guess what we're studying? Metaphysics, because what we're doing here at the Home of Truth is engaged in a conversation about us on planet Earth and spirit within whom we live. Now, spirit, what is spirit? Well, spirit is that invisible energy that is everywhere. As Marilyn said, there's not a spot where God is not. Well, of course not, because God is the energy within which we live. God, spirit, love, all different words for that, breathes us. We don't breathe ourselves, something breathes us. Something makes our bodies move, something makes our planet revolve and do all the things it's doing. As you know, we just passed from winter to spring. We didn't have anything to do with it. It just happened. And it'll continue to happen, and it's been happening, just like the ocean. Just when I think about it, it's mind-boggling. Never stops ebbing and flowing. Never stops. It does not stop. And on top of that, the more you take out of it, the more there is. You can take a bucket of water out of the ocean, and you can't tell. So it's endless. And the way the universe moves and exists in the planet, exists, is stunning and inexplicable. They just recently, not recently, I saw a show about the camera that was sent into space. So when we look up into the heavens and we see these little stars, they're not stars. First off, they're billions of light years away. But they're not stars, they're actual galaxies. And you've seen pictures of galaxies, how huge they are with mammoth planets and stars. So that little dot that we think is a star up there, they're finding are galaxies. And then there are a special group of people who can put colors to those photographs. They are stunning photographs. So the people who are studying all of this, who've been doing this for 30, 40 years, are stunned by what we don't know. I find that very exciting. So is true. Most of our studies are about metaphysics, really, so even the study of the body. We're trying to figure that out. It does all these amazing, amazing things. At every second, it's happening in your body and mine right now. And it's happening steadily. And it has since man first walked the earth, and it will continue. And we're studying that, how it works. And we keep finding out things about how it works and what doesn't work. And we have already learned a lot. So here on our planet, using metaphysics, we've learned about electricity and how it works. Got that one down really good. We've learned how mechanics of things, how to build things, huge, huge, huge mechanical instruments like the big, gigantic, whatever they call it, like a truck thing that moves the Space Needle into place. The tires are bigger than me. They're huge. And they move that Space Needle to the launching pad. We've learned how to build all these things, bridges and cars, etc. And we had to use metaphysics to do it. We had to learn from that. So we're all doing that all the time. We're all learning and investigating. I'm going to say that to you who are here at this service. Not everybody is doing that. Those who don't study that are missing out. They're struggling with life. They think all there is to life is things on this planet, bodies and cars and trees and animals, and that's all there is. And they're struggling with that, and they would be, because there's so much more. Okay, so what's poetry got to do with that? Well, David White, who's a poet, says, poetry is often the art of overhearing yourself say things you don't know you knew. It is a learned skill to force yourself to articulate your life, your present world, or your possibilities of the future. So poets often take that which is invisible, put it into words, and it evokes something from us. It evokes love or joy or wonder, sometimes tears, sometimes hilarity, sometimes nostalgia. That effort of theirs to write it and speak it evokes something within us and brings something invisible out of us, something metaphysical out of us. Mary Oliver, who's also a poet, says, poetry is one of the ancient arts. It began, as did all fine arts, within the original wilderness of the earth. So there are a great many people who are, I'm going to call them conduits for that which is metaphysical. They take that which is invisible and put it into words. And it becomes a gift to us. And it moves us. And it shapes us. And it propels us forward. And it gives us peace. And it brings us joy. And it opens love for each of us. Rumi says, be grateful for your life, every detail of it, and your face will come to shine like a sun. And everyone who sees it will be made glad and peaceful. Resurrection will be now, every moment a new beauty. You know, right there. I mean, he's evoking peace and joy right there in those words, and it's present for all of us. There's something more happening for each of us than meets the eye. Hooray! And that wondrous part of life is what we're here for at the Home of Truth, to engage in that and bring that out. Rumi says, make peace with the universe. Take joy in it. It will turn to gold. Yes, when we take hold of the invisible aspects of life, when we learn about that, which is what we're here doing, life begins to turn to gold. Now, that's an interesting thing. The more we learn about the invisible and the metaphysical aspects of life, the more gets evoked from us about how to live on planet Earth. Isn't that interesting? The more we study spirit and learn about how the invisible, immutable laws of the universe work, the more we can have peace, joy, abundance, love right here on planet Earth. So that's what all the sciences are doing. That's what physics does. That's what medicine does. That's what space travel does. We're all investigating that. And with open hearts and wonder to see what it can bring us. I know for years and years, and maybe for some people, they're trying to harness everything because human beings should have dominion over everything. What a joke. We don't have dominion. We don't have dominion over ourselves most of the time. I mean, you were walking down the street and fell. Come on. It can happen to any one of us, and has. I mean, stuff happens. So, you know, we do the best of working with ourselves and discovering our beliefs and being responsible on planet Earth and caring for one another and all that. We're still working on it. I mean, just look at the state of our planet. As a collective, all of us human beings, I think we might be adolescents in our awareness. I mean, it seems that way. There are plenty of bullies around on our playground. You know, and there are people who are cowering from it. And so, you know, so we're struggling with our overall consciousness, but we are working on it. And we are moving forward. So another thing Rumi says is when you do things from your soul, you feel a river moving you, a joy. So these people who are poets bring that abstract aspect of life, that invisible aspect of life, to us in words and lets it be built through us. We can feel it. So we get to have it, have the experience of it in the moment of hearing it. And for the poet too. Obviously the poet, as they are writing and expressing it, they're feeling it and putting it into words. Rumi says, a lifetime without love is of no account. Love is the water of life. Drink it down with heart and soul. Well, love is one of those invisible aspects of life that we're always working with. And I'm going to say struggling with, because we all want to give and receive love and get caught up in the human aspect of it, and it often pulls us off track when really all there is love. Here's one that I love that he said. Now the words are over, and the pain they bring is gone. Now you have to rest in the arms of the beloved. Oh, yeah. See, our words are both evocative and of both wonder and discord. So then that kind of brings us to, well, we all live here. We're all here on planet Earth. The metaphysical aspect of life is happening all the time. Well, who are we in relation to that? So I'm going to say that we are all poets in the way we live our lives. We have a choice of what we evoke from others, what we evoke around us, what we bring to life. We have a choice to what we bring to ourselves, and that's a very important piece. We often overlook that, but today, am I going to let Harry out there steal my joy because he said blah, blah, blah? Or am I going to evoke joy within myself and bring that to me and have my day be one full of joy and peace and love? And what am I going to evoke around me? It's also useful to consider, what do people around you evoke in you? Sometimes it's magnificent, and sometimes it's not. Sometimes it serves you to not be around the folks who don't evoke, let's just say, joy, peace, and love. Hard to do sometimes, but very often the appropriate thing to do. So I'd say we're all poets, like it or not, know it or not. Then there's the special category, of those who are known for being poets and they write it and they're celebrated for it, etc. But I'm not one of those. I enjoy it. I love reading it. I appreciate it, but I don't write it. And I therefore choose, and invite you to choose, to be a different kind of poet, the kind of poet that walks your verses, that talks your verses, that brings out in another their joy, their peace, their love. It's right there. It's right there in each one of us. I don't care how bad a day there is. That's one of the things I try to do, when people are, like my husband is easily, we watch something on TV and it's like, oh, that's so stupid. And I try to turn it somehow into being lighthearted and funny with him or anybody, if I can. I mean, not always right Johnny on the spot and right there with it, but as much as I can, I try to bring something to it to erase or minimize the suffering. Because I know when somebody's like, I hate you and you did this and and they're really, really riled up, I know they're suffering. So if I can be a poet that reduces that suffering, I'm happy to do it. I'm not always successful. I don't always even think of it. Sometimes I'm like, ooh, I'm out of here. So it's not one of those 100% things, and it's not a perfect thing, but I am now happy for having to think my way into this topic and allow Spirit to guide my thinking and my ideas, so that I have a chance to recognize the poet that I am and the poet that we all are. So the choice is yours. Every day, every minute, every day, what are you going to evoke? What are you evoking today? That's one way of looking at it. And given that's what this month is about, nature is always doing that. Metaphysics, all that aspect of life, all that invisible aspect of life is always evoking. That's why I like to say she when I say she's breathing you, because females birth other people. So the universe, I'm going to say, is a she, because she's always giving birth to, and it's forever expanding. As far as we can tell, it's been expanding. Who knows what will happen after that? And on top of all of that, we're on this tiny, weeny little mud ball in this vast, vast, vast universe. So all of our issues and concerns are mighty small in the scheme of things. And given whether they're large or small, how they occur for us, it doesn't matter. We can evoke joy, peace, and love at any moment and rest in the arms of the beloved. Ah, yes. Yes, the beloved is here. She's with us at every moment. She's breathing you right now. She's caring for you. She's sending you love. And you can take that knowledge. That it's an actual fact. It's the science of life, that vibration, that energy is us. That's what carries us forward. And we can funnel it however we want, into whatever kind of poetry we like. With a hug, with a smile, with words. Sometimes just being present, like that person that helped you on the street. God bless that person. You know, we're available that way for each other. And when we can contribute that and be aware of that, we feel blessed and good. And we feel the peace and love and joy that we're evoking in another. We're evoking it in ourselves. In fact, in order to give it to somebody, you've got to have it present for you. If I say I love you, and those are just words and they're hollow, doesn't mean anything. I didn't evoke it over here, and you sure aren't going to feel it. It's going to feel like just words to you. So I invite you to take on the mantle of being the poet here on planet Earth, and that you're designing purposefully and deliberately a world of joy. It can be a lot more than joy, peace, and love, but those words capture a lot. Inspiration and gratitude, creativity, all kinds of wondrous aspects of life, this invisible metaphysical life that just isn't there, but we know it exists. So we are the poets. And I'm looking at all of them. Look at the beautiful poets. Bravo, bravo. Thank you. Thank you for being here. And I invite you, as I said, to take that on for yourself and see what happens. And again, when you do, as Rumi said, when you do things from your soul, you feel a river moving you, a joy. And when you do, you are in the arms of the beloved, my favorite place. Let us pray. Oh, thank you, dear beloved, for the gift of this day, for the wondrousness of knowing you and resting in your strength and your power. Thank you for the life that you breathe to us, breathe through us, for the joy and the peace and the love that you are, that you evoke and transfer to us, that we can do the same and consciously do it on behalf of who we all are. We are ever so grateful for this opportunity and blessed by the opportunity. And so we say, amen, blessed be, and so it is.